You're listening to Tavern Sports Radio Network.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
Show me the money! Welcome back to episode number 58 of the Show Me the Money podcast, brought to you by Tavern Sports. Welcome back, fellas. I know everybody's a little bit eager to get out. Happy Halloween. Anybody trick-or-treating today?
I set a case of Busch Light outside the door with a Post-it note on it that said one per child. Fucking move on.
That's so
I'm gonna go
Iowa.
trick or treat my meth head neighbor. Get some good shit.
That's for legal reasons a joke.
Party hard.
Yeah, joke.
Well, welcome back, fellas. It's been a full week since we all talked. Actually, it was only three of us last week. Me, Clark, and Josh were here last week, but almost a full barn today. Still missing Cole and John, but that's okay. We're going to go into our lock of the week standings real quick here. Josh, you were at 500, tied with myself. You're 5-5. I'm 4-4. But finally, ahead of 500, we have some guys joining that club. Clark and Parker, 5-4. Well done, fellas. John sitting at 4-5. Cole at 5-5. And then Tyler. Jesus Christ, dude.
Tyler inventing new ways to not hit locks with ties, dude.
Yep. First push of the year, boys, but it's not a loss.
2-7-1 is Tyler's standing right there. Obviously all the way down at the bottom.
Would you guys believe it if I told you I was up 27 units in the past week, 2 weeks?
No.
I actually am. So I don't know. It's just the locks, man. They can't get through.
Hey, man, as soon as I started hitting my locks, I stopped winning money, so.
Start sharing those picks because I have lost like 40 units in the last month. So, yeah, not good. Let's head into our first little segment on the rundown here. We got the Heisman hopefuls. Travis Hunter still leading the way now. He's actually ahead of many of the players that we had talked about previously. And actually, we have a new second place leader as well. Josh,
Really?
we've got Dylan Gabriel in second place now, and still not even in the top three is Ashton Genty. Excuse me, Genty. I'm gonna mess up saying the name again.
Yeah, he had himself a good fall last week. I mean, Boise State won, but he did not do well against UNLV, and that was like his first, or I guess his second big test of the year after Oregon. He looked good against Oregon, but you have to look really good against these group of five teams that you play against week in and week out, or you're going to fall like this. I mean, he's still in the conversation, but one more like that, and I think he'll be done. I think he's well off the pace now. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I don't think he's even close to 3,000. I don't think he's even on pace to break Barry's record anymore. So that's really all he had.
If this guy doesn't make it to New York, at least invite him. He at least has to have a seat at the table in New York, in my opinion.
For sure. I agree with that.
I would say with no dominant quarterback play, like there truly hasn't been dominant quarterback play by anybody. Gabriel undefeated, the last undefeated like true powerhouse team. But Travis Hunter, like we said, he's the best football player doing things other people can't. I wouldn't be surprised if this does come down to a quarterback because
Has Miami lost a game? Did I miss that?
No, they're undefeated.
Yeah, but is the U a powerhouse? Like the U going up against like a solid team, because they don't cover the big number. Miami has been struggling against some of these other teams to fight out wins. You put them against, a top tier defense. I don't know how that necessarily goes for them. Cam Ward's playing amazing, don't get me wrong, but they just like to play with their food too much, it seems. The cardiac Canes, I don't know. I feel like they're going to have a loss at some point. They have Duke this week, and the number's 21. And I mean, I know it's early, but I'd say Duke to cover the number until Miami shows me they can cover those big spreads. You know what I mean?
That's
I would
fair.
agree. The one question I think I had for you guys is if I came up to you and said, "Hey, I have $50 I need to put on a Heisman winner," who should I put it on right now? Because I don't know if
Wouldn't you?
I don't know if I love any of the choices. Like all of them are the top four, I should say, are all pretty stagnant. Like they all could win it. There's not a dominant option this year.
Yeah,
I don't have an
I-
answer for you there.
yeah, I agree with you. I don't like anything right now.
It's as up in the air as it has ever been. It really is. Like Jalen Milroe, I see him at plus 5,000 right now. And we were talking about him 3 weeks ago as like what, plus 500. So
He got down to like plus 450 at one point or something,
Yeah.
or even lower maybe.
I don't know. If I were telling you to pick one person, I would say Cam Ward, strictly because he has been the one through all the ebbs and flows of the Heisman, like jumps to the favorite, jump down to third. Like Cam Ward has still been there, whereas John T went from like the favorite. Now he's almost getting out of the talks. Cade Klubnik is at plus 2,500, and we haven't talked about him at all this year. So I would say Travis Hunter and Cam Ward are those two guys really that have stayed even keeled in the top five. I mean, John T has two, but it's not a running back award, unfortunately for him. So I don't know. I would say Ward or Hunter at this point.
Awesome. Well, let's head into our NCAA football talks this week. First game that we got on the docket, a damn good one. Ohio State versus Penn State. This is in not College Station. What's Penn State's stadium?
Happy
Happy
Valley.
Valley.
Happy Valley.
Thank you.
Ellie,
So they head into Happy Valley. The spread of plus 3.5 toward Penn State. So in favor of Ohio State, over under 45.5 points. I don't know how to feel about this one. Penn State is ranked above Ohio State. Is that correct?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
3-4. It's a 3-4 matchup.
So it's an interesting matchup. I don't know if I like Penn State anywhere close to as much as I like Ohio State in terms of actually performance-wise. 3.5, though, is a little bit of a scary number. I'd buy it down to 2.5.
Yeah, the fact that we're robbed of this game being a night game in Happy Valley is ridiculous. There's no reason this should be a noon kickoff. This is arguably the best game of the weekend. So if this game was at night, I'd probably be singing a different tune. But I think Ohio State's just a better overall team, and I really don't trust Drew Aller for Penn State. So
well, is he in?
he's been practicing, so I'd assume he's in. But
Did you watch the Penn State Wisconsin game? That backup looked good. He looked pretty solid.
yeah,
Can Ryan Day coach in the big game?
that is true. Ryan Day on the road in the big game, but it's not Michigan. So I'm going to take Ohio State. They've been there. Their players have played there. And it's not a night game. It's not a whiteout. Just go in there and handle business. Give me Ohio State. I'll also take them 2.5 and not worry about that 3 and a hook.
Mark me right in the same spot. I like Ohio State here.
Yeah, I was going to go Penn State, but I didn't realize Aller was out or questionable. So I'll take Penn State or Ohio State. I'll take the full number. Doesn't scare me. I mean, I've been noted Drew Aller hater, so.
Parker, you following the rest of us, or are you going on the opposite side?
You know, I think I am. I think I'm gonna stay with you guys.
Well, we're all on Ohio State. What could go wrong?
Yeah. They lose.
Team ride there. At least we all lose money together.
There you go.
That's fair.
Sounds good
enough.
to me.
Let's head into our next game. We got a SEC matchup here. Ole Miss heading into Arkansas. Arkansas a 6.5 point underdog.
It's up to 7.
Yeah,
Up
that
to
is
7.
Ooh.
7.5 now.
Wow. Okay. So it's definitely leaning in favor of Ole Miss. I think with their quarterback game, I understand why. The real question can be, can Arkansas run the football?
I'm going to be the first to say it. Give me Arkansas on the spread here. They've been a covering machine this year. I, at the beginning of the season, was very down on Arkansas. I shit talked some of you guys for taking Arkansas earlier in the year. But Ole Miss hasn't been as dominant as I think what everybody thought they'd be preseason. Give me Arkansas plus the 7.5.
I'm gonna agree with you. I was one of those guys you took a shit on. Woo pig though. They are a scrappy team. They looked good last week. They got some moments they could shine. They just need to buckle down and try to put it together for a complete game. And if they can, I think they might win this game, but I like them to cover.
Josh, I know you're probably riding the pigs.
I've been a hog rider all year. It's not going to fucking stop now, baby.
Hog rider.
I'm actually going to be the opposite here. Not going to squad ride this one. I'm actually going to take Ole Miss.
Doom.
What was it? 6.5? Said
7.5.
7.5. Yeah, I think they'll cover. I'm going to change it down to or tease it down to 6.5. I like that a lot more than the 7.5. But I like Ole Miss here.
I personally am riding with Arkansas. Plus 7.5, especially now at this point, is attractive to me. While they're a home team as well, so I think I would go with them to cover. Definitely wouldn't feel against Ole Miss winning this game. Obviously,
Is Ole Miss coming off the bye here?
I think so.
That's not ideal, but you'll have that. What's next, D?
we got a Big Ten matchup. Minnesota heading into Illinois. God damn it! Why can't I bet on these games? Minnesota is a 2.5 point favorite. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
you
just
are
double
right.
checked it. I don't know what I missed last week, but
They
I mean,
got
I know they
beat,
got
but,
smacked
it
in the mouth, but like,
makes sense.
did they lose anybody? Like, did they lose their entire D line or?
I really think this might just be recency bias that they're coming off getting shit kicked by Oregon. I can't love Illinois plus 3 at home anymore. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like
mean-
it's an early squad ride to me. I mean, this sounds like the freest money I've ever seen from the books. Just everybody call FanDuel, say, "Hey, thanks, dumb fucks," and take it.
Yeah, I mean Minnesota whooped Maryland, but it's Maryland.
Look
Yeah, exactly.
out.
That's what I'm saying. Like seeing them at plus 2, I was just scrolling through because I hadn't really looked at my lock yet, and I seen that, and I just went, "That's going to be my lock now." I'm like, I'm getting
Well,
Illinois
I
plus
fucking got
money.
it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Minnesota. Go ahead.
Minnesota lost to UNC earlier in the first game of the year for them. Like that game was atrocious, and UNC this year has been fucking awful. If you tell me that
UNC lost their first string quarterback in that game, and he's been out all
Yeah.
year. So
and they still won. Like,
Minnesota has been playing better.
Yeah,
football.
that's what I was gonna say.
they are
they're on a
6-1-1.
They're on a 3-game win streak. They beat USC, they beat UCLA, and then they just beat Maryland. So I mean,
And they're
But
6-1-1 ATS as well.
yeah,
Minnesota is.
I'm-
They're a really good
I'm
spread team.
taking Minnesota. by
they
the
score
way.
a lot of points late in the fourth quarter.
Clark, you're taking Minnesota?
I am taking Minnesota. Well, I've been using a new metric for all my bets, and I hit every single one of my bets last week with my
How many bets?
last week I gave you how many picks? I think 7 picks on the podcast, and they all hit. So
All right. Well,
From
don't be
what I've got,
bashful
I have
with
no-
sharing the metrics.
Well, give it another
I'm
week.
not sharing it with you. I'll
He
tell
goes
you.
7-0 again. You better.
Hidden gems.
Dude doesn't want everyone to eat. That's fucking crazy.
I was gonna say though, like
I'll give you my.
we were talking about Minnesota, and they did only lose to Michigan on the road by 3, and then they beat number 11 USC at home. Granted, that number 11 next to USC's name was pretty overinflated at the time. But Illinois looked solid all year. So,
I love the under here, by the way.
yeah. So two straight games where Clark's the odd man out on his new metrics. So we'll see how it pays off for him. What's next, D?
Another Big Ten matchup. Number 1, Oregon. Is that still true? Oregon's
Yeah.
still number 1?
Yeah.
Yep, haven't lost.
Heading into the former NCAA champion, Michigan. But Michigan, a 14.5 point underdog. That's a lot of points, especially at home. What are we thinking, fellas?
Let me buy Oregon to 13.5 and say goodbye. I mean, Michigan's bad this year. If they keep it close, good on them, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Gonna be like watching Iowa play Ohio State. It's gonna be close, and then Oregon's just gonna slowly put it on them because their defense is gonna be exhausted by the end of the third quarter.
That was kind of my thought as well. I really like the way that was put. I think eventually that Michigan defense is going to get so tired and just not going to be able to keep up with Oregon's offense.
So I have a question. Do we think that Oregon having to travel from Oregon to Illinois, Illinois to Oregon, Oregon to Michigan is going to be a problem?
No.
If Michigan was good, maybe. But
Oregon's traveled a lot itself just throughout the years. I think they'll be all right.
I don't know. I think Oregon should win and cover this game. I am kind of worried about the travel fatigue maybe. But I just don't see how Michigan slows them down for the entirety of the game. It's going to have to be gritty and gross, but Michigan doesn't have the explosives where Oregon does. So I'll take Oregon at the 13.5. I'll buy that point. But I wouldn't be surprised if they started out slow.
In Michigan's 2-5, 2-6 spread so far this year? 1, 2, 3.
Michigan is 2-6 ATS. Oregon's 4-4.
Yeah, I like Oregon. I like what Tyler said. I like taking the point down and taking them at 13.5.
Agreed.
All right, squad ride on Oregon. Where are we at next, Steve?
We got Texas Tech, Iowa State. Iowa State, Jack Trice Magic that night, 13.5 point favorites.
That's midday. Jack Trice midday.
Yes.
Either way, so Iowa State 13.5 point favorites, over under 56.5. How did Iowa State do last week?
We had a bye.
Oh, that's right.
And they won. Let's go. Hey.
Still,
Dope.
Yeah, good time for them to have the bye to be able to.
After a scrappy UCF game, no better time to have a bye, honestly.
Yeah, you guys tried to piss down your leg your last game at home. However, I think Texas Tech is on their backup quarterback, but he played last week and played really well. This one could be shaky for you guys as well, Clark. I'm going to take my first dog. Give me Texas Tech plus 14.5.
Didn't you take Arkansas?
Oh, I did take Arkansas. Second dog.
Clark, how do you feel about Iowa State still not being a top 10 team in this country?
I think that's honestly bullshit because, I don't have the top 10 teams in front of me, but there's a couple 2-loss teams in the top 10, aren't there?
Possibly. I don't know.
I would still put them above Iowa State.
Is Georgia a 2-loss team or are they 1-loss?
They're 1 loss.
Okay, because they're at 2.
1 loss. I don't know. But I think realistically, we're not a top 10 team. We're a top 15 team right now. We have to prove it still. And I think this is the perfect game to do that. We're going to beat Texas, whatever the fuck, Tech, fuck Patrick Mahomes, by more than 14 points, and we'll be fine. We're going to get in the top 10 after this week.
Clark and I talked about this actually just the other week, that your guys' ranking is kind of overinflated just because of how many teams there are with 2 losses that are playing tougher schedules. And I agree. I think they're a top 15 team for sure, but I would take a lot of these teams in the top 10.
which is fair. Which
They
is
would
what's happening.
smack the fuck out of Iowa State.
But I think the way this game goes, I think Iowa State's going to cover the spread, and I think the under is going to hit because I saw an article come out on our OC said how he didn't put our offense out there to play the best football against UCF, and we clearly didn't start playing good to the fourth quarter when he started playing Iowa State football. So I think he'll come out there and not change anything up and play Iowa State football. We'll be fine.
I'm taking Texas Tech, so
Give me State minus 13.5. I'm really happy I don't have to buy this through the second touchdown. And give me the over. Two really good offenses here.
You think you don't like
Texas?
our defense?
Your guys' offense is really good. Texas defense is really bad, and
Fair.
I think Tech can get a leaky one or two through on you to help for the over.
That's fair.
I would agree. I really like both of those. The fact that we don't have to buy a point down to 13.5, I'm taking Iowa State.
Well, and again, though, I think the reason why is because of how high-powered Texas Tech's offense is.
Totally fair. Totally fair. And Iowa State's defense has struggled many times this season. Their offense has just kept them out of the scary spots.
We only struggle against scrambling quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All right. What's next, E?
We got another Big Ten matchup. Indiana heading into Michigan State, and Indiana 7.5-point favorite. That doesn't seem like enough points. Yet again, I'm taking Indiana.
Hammer that, dude. I love Indiana here.
Indiana, 7-1 ATS on the year, and outside of their non-cover. I think they're covering by like 10 points, basically, at least every game.
tie.
Indiana's cover.
Signetti, baby. All day long. Big Sig. Indiana. Any way you can get them. Money line, spread, 10.5. Signetti. He's the fucking guy.
Wins football games.
What's the trend on the over?
Google him.
6-2 to the over. 6-2.
I think I like the over then.
Michigan State's 3-5 to the under.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, this is a game I would love to bet over on.
I would.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel either way on the over under. My issue with that is that Michigan State has very much struggled this year offensively.
Not against Iowa.
Not against Iowa. You're
Not
right.
against Iowa.
Everyone's got a Super Bowl out there somewhere.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. If you could not bring that up again, Ty, that would be fucking great.
Hey, it's greener grass, boys. We got a new quarterback. Cade McNamara is just off the depth chart.
Hurt.
I saw it.
Yeah, the only thing hurt is his bank account now because I was like, give me that money back.
Is he like injured or something?
No, he's not injured. He's not injured.
His ego's hurt. It's a real disorder.
Terrible.
Okay,
we will get to it.
Mental health is real.
In 2 games. We'll get to it in 2 games. That's coming up. But I think it sounds like all of us are on Indiana. Is that right?
Smoking cigs.
Go Hoosiers, baby.
All on Indiana.
Until they prove they ain't gonna do it, man. Fucking Hoosiers for the natty.
Agreed. Let's head into the next game. We got Texas A&M at South Carolina. South Carolina, a 3.5-point underdog at home. So another home dog. Spread. Like I said, 3.5 over under 44.5. How are we feeling, fellas?
I'm hammering Texas A&M. I'm tired of sleeping on them. Give me Texas A&M by 1 million.
Texas A&M is proven to be a fucking force.
Yeah.
Give me Texas A&M.
Give them to me.
Also, love them even better on the road when those gay little yell leaders aren't there in their fucking coveralls. Okay? Even love them even more.
Texas Tech is
Texas A&M.
Watch your mouth. Whatever. Texas A&M 3-5 ATS. The Cocks are 5-2. I've rode Cock and Hog all year. It ain't stopping this week. Give me fucking Sellers and the Cocks.
I think I personally gotta go with Josh. I think I gotta go on South Carolina on this one. I like the plus money at 3.5, especially a home game. A&M lost me a close spread earlier in the year against Notre Dame, who I think is significantly worse even than South Carolina. So
I also still don't think A&M's good at football. Just
I think the under is live here. Two good defenses. Just saying. I don't know what the total is. Could be a little
40,
tasty.
40 it's down to 43.5, actually.
Okay, never mind. 43 is low for a college football game.
Over.
Yeah. I don't know. All right.
South Carolina can score, and Texas A&M can score.
I didn't give a pick, but I'm taking Texas A&M.
So it's 3v2. 3v2. All right, we got our Dukes up, boys.
I've been handicapped my whole life. Ain't nothing changing now.
Next game we got is Louisville headed into Clemson. Clemson, a 10.5 point favorite at home. Over under of 63.5. That's a lot of fucking points, fellas.
Who are they playing against? Sorry, cut out.
Louisville. Yeah.
Louisville.
10.5 point spread.
Give me
I'm seeing it at 10 on a certain book, so that's what I'm going to take it at. Give me Clemson minus the 10. It is Death Valley at night. We haven't had a night game there in a long time. If Clemson wants to find its way into the first ever 12-team playoff, they need to win out. They need to win the ACC.
Did they get a second loss? Did I miss something?
No, but
their only losses to Georgia. Then you're so wrong. They have another loss to give.
They have Louisville, who's 5-3 and is not the Louisville that everybody thought they'd be. They have Virginia Tech, 5-3, not who everybody thought they'd be.
They're playing better.
They have Pitt, who's 7-0, and they have Pitt on the road. But again, it's Clemson versus Pitt.
Hey, whoa!
Pitt's playing good football right now.
Don't discount the Citadel like that.
Yeah, they have the Citadel. So they have a bye week. They could literally put out the fucking JV players and beat the Citadel. And then they have South Carolina at home in a rivalry game for their last week. And I get it. You guys are South Carolina fans. And it is a rivalry game. But Clemson can't lose to a 4-3, as they sit right now, South Carolina team. I don't know if they do have another loss in them. I don't know.
I think they do. Currently their only loss is Georgia.
Unless that loss is to ranked Pitt, you know what I mean?
I think they could eat a loss to the Gamecocks. I think they could eat a loss to the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks are a good squad this year. I think their record doesn't show up, but they're a scrappy squad. Because what you said they're 4-3. One of their losses was by 2 points.
Keep the committee. To keep the committee out of this and to get in, they have to win the ACC to be for sure. I don't think they could go. I see Dabo.
I don't think they can go 3-2 with their only 2 losses being Georgia and Clemson and Miami in the title game.
If they're a 2-loss team, because how does that work? They have a group of 5 team, automatic bid, right?
2-loss teams are going to make it.
2-loss teams are going to. But there's going to be better 2-loss teams.
I disagree. I wholeheartedly. If Clemson makes the ACC title game and loses to Miami, their only 2 losses will be to as long as Miami and Georgia don't lose out, their 2 losses will be to the number 2 and number 3 team in the country.
That's the only loss I could see them being allowed to have and sneaking in is the ACC championship game against Miami squad. But the rest of the ACC is Miami undefeated in conference, SMU undefeated in conference play, Pitt undefeated in conference play. So if they lose to Louisville here and I don't know how the schedules line up. I'm sure one of them's going to cannibalize the other, SMU, Pitt, and Miami. But there's a chance that they don't even make the ACC title game.
Even better, I think they could win. I think they could get in with a regular season loss. Because if they get another regular season loss and don't get into the ACC championship game, then they're a 2-loss team. And I think a 2-loss team, no matter what, is going to get consideration.
A 2-loss team that didn't play in the ACC championship game is not making it in. I'm not making it in. Because hear me out. Hear me out. Pitt and SMU play each other on Saturday, right? But then, so one of those two teams will come out of there undefeated. SMU does not have to play Clemson or Miami the rest of the way. So if SMU wins this conference matchup, they're an undefeated an ACC conference play if they win out, right? Without having to get in the way of Clemson or Miami. Okay, so then you look at Miami's schedule, who's undefeated. Miami the rest of the way out. They have
Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Syracuse.
Yeah, that's going to be more than likely an undefeated ACC team. So like I said, if Clemson loses this game and they don't make it in the ACC championship game, they're out of the playoffs, in my opinion.
I think they're out of the playoffs, in my opinion, from the beginning.
Now, if they win the ACC championship, they'll be in. They have to be.
You got this, Parker. That's the worst take I've heard in a very long time. If their only two losses are Georgia and Miami, you think they're out?
I think they lose more than 2 games.
But that wasn't the scenario we were talking about.
I know there was no need for the scenario because they're not going to get in.
Josh, your scenario is that they face Miami. To get there, they have to win out because there's a chance they don't even
win
make
out.
They
got to get some help from SMU. I mean,
there's a chance they don't make the title game. But,
okay, so if they win out and they're a 1-loss team, their only loss is Georgia. They're an out. Then they get an.
We need to worry about our own conference and hoping Penn State and Indiana win out, so Oregon doesn't get a Big Ten conference or get a conference title.
Yeah, he's talking about Oregon.
Can we just move on?
I'm just saying, there's no reason to get your feathers ruffled, brother. Just saying, man, there's a chance.
You guys are want to count Clemson out because they lost week 1 to Georgia, who has been ranked in the top 5.
I'm just saying the rest of their schedule, I don't think they're good. They're not.
I'm just saying, all this started, I never said Clemson was bad. I said they have to win out. And that's why I'm saying Clemson -10. Anybody else got a pick on this game?
Yeah, I'm taking Clemson -10.
Clemson
I'm on the side of the Matrix. I'm on
Clemson. They've been good to me.
Who do they play again? Sorry. I forgot. We talked about this for so long. Louisville. Yeah. Give me Clemson -10.
Well, now Josh? We get he already said Clemson.
Okay, gotcha. Squad ride.
We get to talk about our Iowa Hawkeyes. And thank the fucking Lord, we don't have to watch Cade McNamara go out there and throw footballs on Saturday. Holy hell.
I might turn on the first Iowa game I've watched in like 5 weeks.
Oh my God.
It's kind of excited.
It's going to be so nice to just see somebody that's not with the last name of McNamara behind that offensive line. I can't tell you how excited I am to see Sullivan actually get a chance to go up and down the field every opportunity.
Hey, he's only a red zone quarterback. He ain't no good.
Yeah, I feel like they need to open the playbook up to him a little bit.
Hey, I'm even more excited to see what happens if he maybe gets hurt. They got a redshirt freshman listed as the backup right now. I wouldn't mind seeing that guy get a couple of snaps too. Let me see something different.
Fuck, I'd see anyone over Cade McNamara. That kid sucks.
His ass. Put him on Utah State. Let him throw a fucking school record touchdowns and picks in the same game.
Here's the thing, lads. We always talk about these Iowa quarterbacks are ass. And I agree. Cade McNamara has been fucking terrible this year. But he took Michigan to a college football playoff. Iowa just kills quarterbacks. Who in the system? We thought it was Brian Ferentz killing them. It's got to be Kurt that just slaughters these dudes.
Hey, Ricky and Beathard both had good tenures.
He was killed before because he chose to come to Iowa. He couldn't make it and was washed and got benched by the freshman J.J. McCarthy. And his ego broke and he couldn't throw a football probably in Michigan. And that's why they were like, yeah, go to Iowa.
Laces.
Yeah.
He doesn't even use the laces.
Did you guys see the deep ball last week when he threw it without laces? I was driving home, listening to the game, had it in the cup holder so I could beat down at it. when I saw McNamara leave that game, the amount of joy I felt was just so perfect. Like, oh, fuck that guy.
Now we got to watch Sullivan get ruined.
I'm actually excited to watch the Hawkeye game.
So we finally get a different look. Iowa at home against Wisconsin this week, a 3.5-point favorite. Iowa already has 3 losses on the year. Is this the year that they maybe are punting in the sense of, we're not going to be even an 8-win season this year? Like, this could be a loss.
This could be a loss, but it's Kinnick at nighttime. And Wisconsin, I mean, they've played decent ball, but I thought after we had 2 losses, like Iowa State and Ohio State, there was a chance we win out. I still think there's a chance we could win out. I'm taking Iowa here just because I like the quarterback change. Hopefully the team's invigorated by it because you can't fool those dudes. They see Sullivan in the game. They see Sullivan at practice. Like, they know who was better, so hopefully they fight for him. You know what I mean? And like it just works out. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So give me Iowa minus the 3 at home. Kinnick at night. Get loud.
I'm with Tyler. I still think Iowa could win out. Like, I never thought they couldn't. It's just we shot ourselves in the foot and can't coach and can't. It's like it comes down to those small things where it's like you need to make coaching changes and nobody's doing it. And I think this is a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Give me the Hawks.
I want to see the Hawks win because my father is going to like his first NFL college football game ever. Not even just college, like first football game in general, like ever. My dad doesn't show up to anything, but he's going to be out there holding the flag before the game as a veteran. So,
oh hell yeah,
yeah, give me Iowa minus 3.5. Fuck it, give me.
Are you
Iowa
not going?
3.5. I wish I was. No,
because we were thinking about tailgating the game, but
I can't afford to drive up there right now. I'm broke as fuck.
Yeah, I like Iowa minus 3.5. It's plus money right now, by the way, guys. So,
all right, Tank Dell touchdown, Ethan, and it'll pay for your gas. Hammer.
I'm gonna also squad ride to take Iowa money line or Iowa minus the 3.5. But Josh, like you said, Iowa's an over team, and this game is going over.
Iowa's an over team. That's a fact. That's just a statistical fact.
I hate to say it, but they're an over team this year, and I'm taking the over.
I'll let anyone guess Iowa's record to the over this year without googling it.
6 and whatever.
6-2. Anybody
yeah,
else?
we didn't go over in the Ohio State game, and I guarantee we didn't go over in the Iowa State game. So I'm gonna say 6-2.
I thought we went over in Iowa State and we went under in Michigan State.
I think we're over on every.
I think we're 6-2. I'm going 6-2.
7-1.
Oh.
So just Ohio State was the
just
only
Ohio
under?
State, yeah.
Only
Under
because
by
we didn't
half
score.
a point.
Yeah,
I know.
Under by half a
I was about
point.
to say, I think we were almost hit them all.
Under by half a point. Bastards.
Who'd have thought?
Good line by the books. Good line by the books.
So team ride on Iowa.
Yes.
The new look Hawks.
Yeah,
Let's do
I'm
it.
ready to be heard again.
we're Tiger Hawks now.
We sure fucking are, baby.
All right, final college football game of the night before our hidden gem segment. Kentucky at Tennessee. Tennessee 17.5 points. That's a lot of points, fellas.
Too many points.
Too many points.
Too many points.
Give me Kentucky covered.
Wow.
Kentucky's been one of those teams this year that they're just fucking scrappy. They keep games close. They win games that they aren't supposed to win. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but way too many points.
The only thing I hate is that Kentucky's coming off a loss to Auburn, and Auburn is dog piss, and they only put up 10 points, and they gave up 24. However, I think the defense gets right. I think they're motivated, and they cover this game. Kentucky-Tennessee used to be a trophy game, the beer barrel, and they quit doing that in 98 because 2 Kentucky players died in an alcohol-related crash. So definitely a rivalry
Hasn't
game.
stopped Georgia.
Yeah, hasn't stopped Georgia. Shout out Henry Ruggs too. I know he's a Bama guy, but shout out. So I'm just gonna say like Kentucky covers this because it's a rivalry game.
It's also going
We-
under, 2 under teams, 2-6 for Kentucky, 3-4 for Tennessee.
So I kind of was first on the scene to this scrappy Kentucky team,
You were. Facts.
but them costing me money and losing to Auburn kind of puts a sore spear through my heart. And like as much fun as I want to say, like Kentucky to cover this, because I know Tennessee has looked bad in some of these close games when the defense shows up, and I think Kentucky has a defense that can show up. You know, puts a real rock in my shoe here. But I'm gonna stick with them. Give me Kentucky. See what happens.
I am on Tennessee. Give me a uniform pick here on Tennessee.
Oh yeah, they're in their blackouts. Give me.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you see
flipping.
the
I'm
video
flipping.
they dropped for that?
That
Yeah,
video
that-
was
Yeah.
sick.
I'm flipping.
I actually forgot about the black uniform aspect of it. I was just going for the burnt orange in general, but the black and orange uniforms were fucking sick. If you haven't seen the video, go and watch it because goddamn.
That was
There's no
elite
video.
video. Elite
Elite.
video.
How
But
cute.
let's get into these hidden gems, guys. I have a couple. Starting off with Vandy plus 7.5 at Auburn. Auburn is ass. Vandy's scrappy. This line does kind of feel like a trap, but I'm just going to take Vanderbilt's vibes and ride with it. Also at 7.5, I have Pitt going into SMU. We talked about it when we were talking about Clemson. This is a big ACC game here. I like the way Pitt's playing. Their offense is just lights out. Their defense last week just beat the dog fuck out of Syracuse. So, like Pitt there. Give me Navy minus 10.5 against Rice. They got their ass beat against Notre Dame, but they also fumbled the ball 6 times. They won't do that twice in a row. Give me Navy. Give me Northwestern plus 1 at Purdue.
A lot more than a couple.
Oh, chill.
That's 5. And Army minus 21.5 against Air Force.
I'll
I
go
got
next.
one.
You already. Parker, you go.
I just have one. Give me Vanderbilt plus 7.5. To I think it was Auburn.
Yep.
Yeah, to Auburn.
I'll go next. I'm same spot. Vandy plus 7.5 feels like an overreaction from the books, based off both of these teams' last games. And I don't make no sense to me. I don't get it. So Vandy plus 7.5, and then I'm gonna go back to the well. FSU is horrible against the spread, but UNC is worse. Give me FSU minus 2.5. I hate it.
Okay.
It's disgusting. It makes me want to throw up. But UNC is awful.
All right. Tyler already took one of mine, but I'll also reiterate it. I'm taking Pitt plus 7.5 against SMU. Big game there. And then I'm actually going to go the opposite side of one of Tyler's. He took Army minus 21.5. I'm actually going to take Air Force plus 21.5 to cover that.
This episode of Show Me the Money is brought to you by Tavern Sports, your place to get fun sports content, sportsbook lines and parlays, and of course food reviews with Big E's Ballpark Bites. You can follow Tavern Sports on Instagram at Tavern Sports 2023, TikTok at Tavern.Sports, and Twitter at Tavern Sports 23.
Welcome back to Show Me the Money. We are back with our NFL picks. So, NFL, let's take a look at the first game we got listed. Mr. Tua Tagovailoa finally back for Miami. He was back last week. He looked pretty okay.
He slid.
He slid.
Yeah.
That's an important part.
You didn't go head first this time?
He goes into Buffalo. Buffalo, a 5.5 point favorite. I think Josh Allen and Buffalo is going to take this one.
Miami can't play north of
Doesn't
the
this-
Mason-Dixon line. It's just a fact. So
Doesn't Bills Dolphins usually go over. Hasn't that happened like a bunch of times or something?
Could
Yeah, it's
not
because
tell
the
you.
Bills kick the absolute dog water out of the Dolphins every time.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's
Like,
not
I feel like I
because
It's
remember.
always like 40 to like 14 or 20, if that.
it has nothing to do with how Miami plays offensively. It has everything to do with how bad Miami is defensively up there, and Buffalo just
I mean,
puts on the points,
56
man.
degrees in Buffalo this weekend. Tua's balls are gonna fall off, dude. Way too cold.
Yeah. Like we said, Dolphins can't win up north. So go ahead and give me the Bills on the points. And then I can't find it on any of the books, so I'll ask you guys if you want to take the bet. Give me either Damar Hamlin or Tua Tagovailoa to die at midfield at plus 300. I'll take it.
Specifically at midfield.
Yeah,
You
I'll
said
take
that.
it. I'll take it.
Right hash or left hash?
What if it's in the red zone?
On the logo for plus 700.
Ooh.
My boss just said I don't have to go to work tomorrow, guys.
There you go.
Hey.
Yo, this.
Yeah, give me one of them to die on the logo for plus 700, and then the Bills.
I'll be the house on that. How much you want to put on it?
The house. I'm gonna put the house on it.
All right, back to the picks. I think I'm going to take Buffalo minus the 6 points. This Miami team just got beat by the Cardinals, who aren't that great. So,
Clark, you would know all about that.
yeah, my team sucks.
Not worse than mine.
Well.
Let's so squad ride on Buffalo then.
I think so.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go Dallas at Atlanta. Fucking Kirko Chains out here, dude. Kirk laying 3.5 at home. I like Atlanta. Dallas looks like shit this year.
Give me the Birds, Dirty Birds, money line.
I like the Birds as well, but like if the Cowboys decided to play football, this would probably be a game they could decide to play football in. Would I be mistaken? Or
No, I
No,
like.
they could win this game.
yeah,
I like the way you
but
put
I do
that.
like the Birds. I'm with you guys. I hope Atlanta wins. Give me Kirko, but like
Yeah.
don't be surprised if maybe they learn how to play football for a week. But I hope they don't, because fuck the Cowboys.
I
Yeah.
agree, Park. I like the Cowboys in this matchup personally. They are finally not at home again. I feel like every time they've played at home is when they've been they've lost an important game, I guess is the way to put it. I prefer them in this game over Atlanta.
Wow. I mean, if Dak and CD played like they did last week, I think they could easily win this game. But I'm going to bet on Kirko Chains here and take them to -3.
What's Fish's pick?
He said
He
he
says,
wants
fuck the Cowboys.
Good pick, Fish. Let's skip this next one. We'll do this one last. Lions at Packers, NFC North matchup. Some are saying it's the best division in football. Packers 2.5-point dogs at Lambeau. Probably the right choice. Is Jordan Love going? Does anyone know?
That
To
I
my-
don't know.
To my
I know.
knowledge, he is because he's on my fantasy team. He is. It's currently questionable, but I think ultimately he's going to end up playing this game. I think this is too important of a game. Ticket prices in Lambeau are through the fucking roof right now. I heard that they are anywhere from the cheapest ticket being $200 to $280 a piece. So it's a very important game. It's a rivalry. It's a in-conference matchup. I still like the Lions. Give me the Lions.
So according to the Packers official website, Love was a DNP Wednesday and a light practice today on Thursday.
He's going.
he's playing.
Yeah, I would assume he's going.
Division game, he's going.
Is this their first matchup this year, or have they played?
They have not played yet.
They have not played. So I'm gonna take Green Bay to take the first game at home here. I'll take them to +2.5 though.
I got a dog in the chair. I got dogs on the shirt. Give me the dogs. Give me the Packers +2.5 at home.
I'll take the Lions. I'm not gonna bet against Jared Goff. I think he's like 4th in MVP votes or odds right now.
Jared Goff has been playing lights out for the last.
Jared Goff is the
4
best
games.
passing quarterback right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's a stat for you.
You know what?
Yeah. Jared
the
Goff
Lions.
I think he has the highest passer rating right now.
Give me the
How
Lions.
the fuck is Patrick Mahomes third in MVP odds? He is bad.
He's terrible.
Patrick
He's
Mahomes,
like bottom 10 quarterback. Like,
he has more
statistically.
interceptions than touchdowns this year.
Mhm.
Shit. Give me the Lions and give me the parlay on all three running backs to soar. Give me Gibbs, give me Montgomery, and give me Josh Jacobs.
Your dog is
I like it.
broken.
And give me the Lions running back, the third Lions running back,
Dogs misbehave.
Khalif Raymond.
He
Right?
is not a running back.
No, who's the other dude I'm thinking of? Never mind. Moving on. I'm taking the Lions though. Give me the Lions.
Come on,
I'm on the Lions.
man, this fucked up.
Let's head into our
Colts.
next NFL game. We got the Colts at the Vikings, -5.5. I got
Joe Flacco officially named starter for the Colts.
Yeah,
Anthony
Craig,
Richardson
it was
bench.
Craig Reynolds, by the way. Craig
Reynolds
Reynolds.
is a wide receiver.
Craig Reynolds is a running back. Khalif
Nope.
Raymond's the wide receiver. I just looked it up. That's why I was confused. I knew it started with an R in the last name.
Josh Reynolds is a wide receiver for the Lions. Josh, you might be thinking that.
Probably.
Oh,
Can
I
we
said
move
Craig.
on to the Colts game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me
Cool.
Flacco. Wait, who are they playing?
Vikings,
Vikings
The Vikings.
who have been exposed the last 2 weeks
2 weeks.
as frauds.
They did have they had a bye week last week to.
Oh, so they won last week. That's good.
Give me Flacco plus the points, and give me Flacco over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Indy's 7-1 ATS this year. That's crazy.
I actually enjoy. I think Indy to cover the 5.5. I still think the Vikings will end up taking a win. I just think it's going to be by 3 to 4 points.
Yeah,
Ethan, go ahead.
I'm also going to take Indy here. I like Joe Flacco. He showed us what he could do last year for the Browns, and it was really entertaining. So,
I'm gonna go with you, E. I know Joe Flacco's got hype around him, but I don't know if this Colts defense is gonna be able to hang in with the Vikings offense. So with that, I think the Vikings win, but it is gonna be a little bit closer of a game than like 3 points, like you said.
Yeah, give me Joe.
Roger.
3-2.
All right, let's head into our last NFL game of the evening. We got the Bears at the Cardinals. Clark versus pretty much the rest of the podcast. This game is going to be fucking disgusting.
Gonna be a Bears home game.
The one Cardinals game I watched, the defense was so atrocious, I couldn't possibly bet any sort of money on them, even as bad as Caleb Williams was last week. So give me...
Whoa, he was really good in the fourth quarter. I won't make a statement about the rest of the game, but in the fourth quarter.
Give me the Bears plus 1.5. Actually, just give me the Bears to win.
I'm doing the same thing. Give me Bears money line.
Tyler.
I'm not going to go against the Bears. Caleb showed in the fourth quarter like why he was the number one overall pick. We got fucked at the end. That happens. We didn't deserve to win the game, but we put ourselves in position to win it, and then we got fucked. So
I'm going to say the Bears because I'm a Bears fan, but like our offense was so piss poor last game that shit can't happen. And Caleb Williams can't be telling Eberflus to get off the field. Like Eberflus needs to get himself in check.
he needs
that
to be
shit-
fired, honestly.
That shit was ridiculous last week. So, yeah, give me the Bears, but I'm not going to be surprised if we lose this game.
We also have roughly 1 million fucking injuries.
Um,
Both of our DBs that were out last game are still on the injury report. Two of our starting offensive linemen and two of our backup offensive linemen and one third string offensive lineman are all on the injury report as DNPs this week. Montez is going to be questionable, probably have a limited snap load. I would not be surprised if we lost this game, but I'm going to be pissed if we do.
I'm gonna
give me the Bears. All I gotta say is I'm kind of ditto off Tyler here is something needs to happen in the coaching staff, and it needs to come from, I think, up top. I think Ryan Poles needs to figure out what's going on in this fucking Bears coaching organization, because it was abysmal. And I mean, that comes down to that last play. Yeah, I know we had a player not focused, but like even so, nobody was set up for the defense of that. Nobody was in the back guarding the dude who's standing in the end zone. Like,
Well, that was Tyreek's guy.
Yeah, that was the guy who was fucking off. That was his man.
So, just
also
gotta
like
get better.
having a defensive coach and not knowing how to defend a fucking Hail Mary. You have one guy jump. One guy. Everybody else boxes out. And why don't you have your fucking tight ends out there? Dude, Zach Ertz is 6'5".
You don't even need to throw that many.
We
Just
don't
rush.
have Zach Ertz on our team.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he was out there. You need to have somebody that can body him. Our largest D-back that was out there was 5'11".
Rush more than 3 players and don't have your best defensive end on the sideline.
I'm a firm believer in rushing the quarterback during a Hail Mary situation rather than dropping in coverage.
And not having a fucking spy when they're at the 50.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that we got held and everything, but again, we deserved to lose that game. So I'm not even that mad about it because we played like shit the entirety of the game. Is it disappointing? Yes. But we're terrible.
Hey there, sports fans! Are you tired of the same old boring shirts? Well, we've got something exciting for you. Introducing the Tavern Sports Pocket Tee, where style meets passion for the game. Whether you're a diehard fan or just like the environment, Tavern Sports has got you covered, literally. The best part, because you're listening to Show Me the Money, you can use the code $$ to get 15% off today. So what are you waiting for? Head over to tavern-sports.square.site right now and elevate your game day experience. Tavern Sports. Beer, betting, sports.
All right, let's head into our lock of the weeks. Let's start off with Mr. Clark. What do you got for us?
Boys, I wouldn't normally take this as a lock of the week, but I'm going to take Iowa minus 3.5 points.
3.5? I think you can get them at 3 if you want it.
Is that in the parameters?
I bet you probably get 2.5.
On the book I'm betting on, they're 3 flat. So.
Oh, then I'm taking them to 3 because my book was different. But I'll take them 3 if your book's got it.
My book's got it at minus 110.
I would sidebar and say no, but
you can get 2.5. You can get to 1.5.
Then give me them 1.5 if it's in the parameters.
Yeah, 148.
Money line's 148 on my book. Do you just want a money line?
Yeah.
Hey, Iowa money line minus 148.
There you go, Clark.
Thank you for editing.
I'm just trying to get him a win.
Your books are giving it.
Just trying to give him a win.
Josh, what are we thinking? Do you have a pick yet?
Yeah, Illinois plus 2.5 all day, twice on Saturday.
Josh, I can also give you them at 3 if you want it.
Yeah, I probably get them at like 3.5 on my book, so I'll take that.
You want the 3?
Yeah, I mean, if they're plus 102 on the line, so I bet you I can get 3.5, maybe even 4.5. Give me 1 second.
I got 3.5 at minus 138.
Give me 4.5, 148.
Big dog.
I'm gonna need some proof because my 4.5's minus 156.
Just because I'm on a better book doesn't mean you get to be mad about it. It'll be in the Snapchat group.
Park, what do you got for us for your lock?
Well, I was gonna go with Illinois, but I don't know if I want to have the same one.
You can.
Do we want more? I know we can. We can. But do we want to have another one?
It's valid.
Give me.
Do it. But if you lose, it just puts me that much farther ahead.
Oh. Give me Illinois 2.5.
Dude, if you can take 2.5, just take 4.5. Just take my same bid. Just take the 4.5.
I want plus money though.
All right, whatever.
Whatever you say, brother.
Hope they
Fucking
lose by
weirdo.
3.
I am. Everybody else is already gone, right? Oh no, Ty, you haven't gone yet. You go ahead and say yours.
Look at his shit-eating face.
Fresno State -10 against Hawaii.
Hate you.
You're fucking sick.
You said Fresno State.
-10 versus Hawaii, -146. Sent it in the group chat.
I'm going to go look at this pick real quick. Fresno State.
You are so sick for that. I personally, I'm going to take Indiana at -6.5. Too easy.
That's a smart man right there.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
in
sir.
the weeds. I'm going to use the weeds to get myself out. Fresno State. Y'all ain't got it like I got it, okay?
What'd you take, Ethan? Indiana?
Indiana -6.5.
Actually, give me Vanderbilt +7.5.
That's where I was going to go.
Give me Vandy +7.5.
Love it, love it, love it. Tyler, you got a teaser? You haven't given us one in
That's
like
what
a
I want.
month.
Yeah, I've been gone a couple of weeks, boys, but I've got one for us, and it is coming down to, I'm typing it in so I can get us the exact odds and number. And where's this last team at? There we go. Here we go. 6 legs.
Here we go.
6 legs. 6.5 points, +500. South Alabama down to the money line against Georgia Southern. Iowa +3.5. Texas A&M +3.5 at South Carolina. Iowa State -7. Indiana -1. And Vanderbilt +14. That's Tyler's teaser. We need to get one of these, get out of the mud.
Yeah, awesome.
I personally haven't been doing as many teasers like this because I've been doing monster teasers on the book I use, and they've been hitting 4 legs, 13 points. They've been pretty good to me. So, yeah, if you can get yourself a monster teaser on a specific book that's the color green, they have some good lines there for you. But we've given you the picks, and it's time for y'all to show me the money. Go Fresno State. Go Bulldogs. I think that's their mascot.